Hey guys, Front of the Night here, bringing you another episode of the Halfsun Reborn series that I am supposedly recording, but have not even posted a video yet as of recording this video, because I'm so bad at doing things and whatnot. So, we are going to get on the train of recording and getting the series pushed out, but I am way behind. I am way behind. I believe people have already fought the Ender Dragon. Spawn has become this complex area that I have not yet I've not yet thoroughly explored nor fully understand the layout. So we're going to have to do a lot of catching up in my little series and hopefully get up to the level that everyone else is on. But today we are on a mission to get glass. And I will show you guys why I need glass so bad. But to show you guys, I need to bring you to my base. So why don't we do a little base tour? So first we must go up these stone stairs, which I made just for convenience since we have to do a lot of climbing and having to jump up every single step is inconvenient. There's my nether portal. We will have to use that here in a little bit. Not too fond of location compared to where my base ended up, but I was planning to have my base up here originally, and then decided to move it up there. So, if we go up further, we gotta cross the bridge, and here's a little temporary farm I had set up, just to get myself fed. Now, fortunately, someone donated me a lot of food last episode, I believe, so I've been fed quite well the last few episodes. But then we finally get to my base. So I've been trying to be a little fancy with my base. Made a little tree farm just to keep up with the need for wood. But I thought I'd build it in this little groove that was in this little cliffside to kind of save energy instead of terraforming an entire area. Just terraform a little groove that's already there. Just go alongside the cliff. And I think for the most part it worked, but I kind of vastly, as usual when it comes to my base ideas, I did not think of the effort it was still going to take for me to create this. So if we step inside here, I'm still trying to organize the rooms and figure out which room's going to be which room. But I think I'm going to make this area like the living or ballroom or something, because this is going to be like a little castle on the cliff. And then I'm probably going to channel some guest rooms through here. At least I'm planning to make some guest rooms. I don't anticipate many visitors, but might be a nice feature to have. Then I'm going to make this floor the crafting floor, so I'm going to do some fancy stuff once I get some more crafting appliances. Most of these appliances have only been made for production of the castle. I think I'm going to make this floor the library, but I've also made this room my room, so this is where I go to sleep. And got myself a little nice fireplace here. Although I might make some adjustments in this room too, because I don't like where my bed is. I think I might try to go a little further in and make this like my living area, and then like a separate bedroom. Be a little more fancy that way. Then I made this little balcony area because I was too lazy to continue making a lot of floors. I don't really know what to put on this balcony area, and I don't really know what purpose it can serve, but it exists. And I think eventually I'll make it fancy. But I also need to make some iron golems, make an iron golem and put it up here, because one thing I've probably been running into is that it's so easy for mobs to spawn on the side of this cliff face in spots that I don't anticipate. I try to light the area up as best I can, but they still sometimes find their way to spawn in areas and find their way to get into my base. So, any open areas would probably need to be well guarded. And up here, I don't really know what I'm going to do up here. Although I think I connected this small little floating island to my castle. I plan to make this like an observatory of sorts. Not really sure what purpose it would serve. Maybe I'll make it like maybe I'll make it like a witch hut so we can make potions in there or something. I don't know. up here is incomplete, but it leads to the very top of the mountain where I plan to. I've got it closed off for now. I'm going to leave it closed off for now. But I plan that when we eventually get the glider, I forget what it's called, I will make a launch pad up there, and maybe I'll just make another balcony-like area. And I plan to I'm making some areas where I can still move out for more space. Because another thing I've planned for this floor is to put a lot of auto crafters on this floor. So I want to make some like automatic melon farming areas and some other auto crafters, which I'll get into in a different episode. And then here is my greenhouse. So this is where I'm going to start producing my more steady supply of food and whatnot. Because as nifty as that farm is, it's kind of a little distant from the rest of my base. So this is where I am going to start producing the majority of my food. Now, as you may have noticed, my base so far is lacking one crucial thing: glass. I do not have any windows, and it is actually starting to impede the production of my base. And let me tell you why here in just a second. I need to go to sleep real quick. So, not only does it look weird to have a bunch of holes in my base, but mobs occasionally spawn out over here. Doesn't look like any has spawned out here this time, but they occasionally spawn in this area because it's not 100% well lit. And when they do spawn in that area, they will walk into my base, particularly if it's a zombie and it sees me, because zombies have ridiculous aggro range, and they can just walk right in. I don't want to fill these holes up, but because they're going to be windows, but as it stands, they have easy access to get into my base. And then, of course, there's also the complication of how I'm making my base. There's some areas that are well lit during the day, but may not be as lit during the night. So we might have some areas that mobs will be spawning during night, and I'm just not aware of them. But it's hard for me to pinpoint those areas when mobs can just enter my base freely. So it's time for us to get some glass. Now, unfortunately, we do not live in a sandy area. We have a lot of rocks, a lot of earth, a lot of gravel in some areas, but not a lot of sand. We're not near any rivers or beaches or anything like that. So sadly, sand is not a very plentiful resource, but it would appear as though someone through the nether tunnels has found a desert biome. I haven't gone to see this desert biome yet, but I figure we can go explore that during this episode and see if we can't get ourselves plenty of sand. Well, I apologize, guys. I just realized I was wearing the wrong set of headphones because I was wondering why I didn't have any volume to my game, and I also realized that I had my recording set to the wrong volume while I was troubleshooting that. So, I am terribly sorry there was no audio in the game during that entire intro. Thankfully, there was nothing big happening that would require audio compared to now. But anyway, let's go find ourselves that desert biome. So I don't think it's that much of a trek through the nether. I hope not, at least. It's not a trek to get to where the intersection is. But I'm not quite so sure about to the actual biome itself. And we're going to need to pretty up this area. Oh my goodness, there's just so many gas that have spawned. Good thing we're pretty much underground. So I believe it should be, yes, right out here. Alright, so here's the intersection. The only thing I don't like about this intersection is that it shows a lot of stuff, but there's nowhere to say where base is. I believe base is down the rails. Not base, spawn. I believe spawn is down the rails, but I have no idea where. Um, everything else is. So, this way to the desert biome. And goodness gracious, can any more gas spawn? That's a rhetorical question. Okay, it was not that much of a trek. It was still a bit of a trek, but not that much longer than the trek from my base. All right, let's see what we got. Hopefully, it's a big desert biome. Oh, I had no idea we were at a desert village. Interesting. Although it doesn't look like any of the villagers are home. That or they all died. Wow. It's interesting to see how amplified terrain alters the desert biome. Fascinating. Alright, let's go find an area where we won't be very intrusive with... Because we're going to need a lot of glass, which means we're going to need to mine a lot of sand. So let's try to find an area where we won't lose track of the portal, but we won't cause a great disaster with whatever people want to be doing with this desert. We don't want to destroy too much. So we're going to use this as a landmark. Oh, and there's a plains biome. One thing I think we're still trying to find on the server is bees. Now, admittedly, I have not yet watched some of the other members' videos on their adventures quite yet. I've been meaning to, but I haven't. So I'm not sure if anyone has found bees. But if not, then we should do our own quest for bees. Well, maybe we should do our own quest for bees regardless. Alright, you know what? Let's just terraform this area. I think I tend to use all my shovels. I'm not sure if that will be enough sand, but it should be enough sand for this video. Nope, not dealing with that. Not dealing with that. Alright, so we got some sand. I was going to check the sand, but then that creeper decided to make itself known, so we're going to get ourselves out of here before any other creepers get themselves known. I do have one death, and that death was during construction of the greenhouse? Lighthouse? Whatever the heck it was called. During the construction of my garden, I was placing down stairs, and I placed one stair incorrectly, which led to me falling to my doom. So not a very exciting death, but I do have one death to my account, and I would like to try to keep it at one death for now. So we're going to try to mosey on all the way back to my base without further issue if possible. Alrighty, so we made it back to base in one piece. Managed to get some sleep. We might have to watch out for the mobs get into our base. Hopefully no sneaky creepers coming in, but now it's time for us to smelt our bounty, which it looks like we got 5 full stacks of sand, 5.5. So we actually got a good amount of sand for our first haul. Why don't we get everything smelting, and we can start. Oh, maybe 6. I didn't see this one. Yeah, so we got 5 smelting right now, which means, yeah, we got 6. Let's go ahead and throw that. And we're going to throw the leftover sand in this chest for now, because we might use the sand for a cactus farm or something else. So I figure it might be good to have just some plain old sand on hand. And actually, we don't know what we might use the sand for. I think I want to make concrete at some point, which I think might include sand in the recipe. or we might be making some things with gunpowder. Like, we might be making some TNT, so we might need some sand for that. Again, I don't know. Sand can be a useful ingredient, so at least have a little bit of sand on handy. So now we need to decide how we're going to make everything, because like here we might just use some regular glass, but this is going to be a library. So do we really want to use plain colored glass, or do we want to use some other glass, a tinted glass, to set the mood? What can we use to set the mood for a library? I would probably, if I was in a creative world, I would go with a purplish colored glass, but that is probably not very available. Well, not that it's not available, but it's probably not going to be easy for us to gather in for this episode alone. I'm trying to think. Like, I definitely want to use a combination of red and blue. Oh. 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 Oh, man. I was trying to be clever, and I made a little stream that went outwards, but I forgot that unless it's running water, I don't know why that one water source hasn't frozen up, but unless there's a light source down here, it's just going to freeze up. And I don't exactly want to put a random torch down here. Frick it. I spent enough time on it that we might as well throw a torch down. It's going to look weird. It's going to bother me, but at least we'll get some water flowing. So why don't we actually just jump all the way down our base and get some red flowers to gather at first. And we can see about other colors in a future episode. It might just be one of those things that I'm just going to have to give some thought to. And I don't know. A library, maybe purple wouldn't be a good color. Oh, well, there's those. What color are these flowers over there? We got some red, but then we also got some, what are those? I think those are pink, and do we got any other color flowers in the area? I don't know. Let's go down there and look. And actually, we got a quicker way down. Life is going to be so much easier once I get the glider. Alright. Let's see what we got. We got zombies. A lilac. And yes, it produces a pink-like dye. Okay, of course he managed to set me on fire. That's cool. Another one? Alright. That's taken care of. Let's gather some red poppies, because we're definitely going to need some red dye. So I know we might use some yellow for some things. Ooh, spooky cave noise. More specifically, I'm thinking of the banner I typically make and put on my shield whenever I make a shield. That's a thing for next episode. I might have to just make an episode of me figuring out how to better equip myself. So far on the server, I've been playing with no armor. Let's see. Yeah, no armor. And I've barely gotten iron, and I've barely made iron tools. I didn't really want to mess much with iron tools. And there's a doggy over there. Oh, do tell me, do I have more bones? I want to get this dog. We're going to get ourselves a canine companion if possible. Oh, of course a zombie spawns. Oh, of course a skeleton spawns. Actually, a skeleton isn't good. But there's zombies. I don't want to. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I have no armor, so I don't want to overcomplicate an encounter. There's another zombie over here. Or I thought there was a zombie over there. Yeah. Alright, we got some bones. We got some poppies in here. Well, why don't we just go ahead and take those poppies? We got some light blue dye for some strange reason. That's interesting. We're going to take the red dye, and I guess we'll take the light blue dye, and we'll hold on to it. But we've only got 3, so I don't know if I'm going to use it for any crafting purposes quite yet. Why don't we get ourselves to that doggy and see if we can't tame it. Oh, random pig on the cliff. Holy Lord. Alright, we're just gonna let these guys duke it out. Thanks for the extra bones. Alright. Now, hopefully, the wolf is still in the area. Yeah, there he is. Or there they are. Oh, and of course there's zombies. Because why would this be simple? And creepers. Okay. One problem at a time. Alright, I gotta be careful. I don't want to accidentally hit my dogs. Send the wolf pack in a frenzy after me. Ooh, iron nugget. I'll take it. There we go. Alright. Come with me, Fido. We'll figure out a name for you later. But now it's time to get you back to my base. Alright, we'll sit you down here. Why are you black? What have you gotten yourself into to get you so dirty? Interesting. Alright, so I guess a mob can spawn in here? In this small little spot? Well, I'm going to cover this up with stone anyway, so I guess we'll just might as well accelerate the process and just do it right here. Problem solved. Alright. So we can make the... oh, it's a magenta dye. And how will that fit? Wonder how that will fit with everything down here. Not here. Upstairs. I think I won't worry about the library for now, because the library is not our most crucial area to cover up. So we're gonna take all the glass we got now, and we're gonna cover up the essential areas, or what I've determined are the essential areas. So that means downstairs. And I guess I could use glass panes, but I don't know if that would necessarily... I don't know if that will necessarily make these much neater. But at the very least, mobs will stop coming in. And now for the greenhouse. Now the greenhouse is a little trickier, only because The biggest concern I have is, of course, snow. Now, if I produce enough light, the snow will hopefully not form, or if it forms, it'll quickly melt. But I don't want to have an entire shadow cast inside here. So I hopefully put enough glowstone to produce enough light to stop that issue from happening. So why don't we start off on the edge here. We may not have enough glass for this, but at least let's see if we can get the majority of this covered. And actually, maybe I should just start on the roof. I'm going to need to get myself a silk touch pick in the near future. So, I think I want to double down on these glowstones. So I want to make them if I remember correctly, I want to double down this way. Or did I want to double down this way? I think I want to double down this way. So I'm going to leave that spot open for the glowstone. Do something like this. Now over here, similar story. Here's a little trickier because I got another slope going on. I think I screwed up. Wait. I can make it work. I can make it work. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that. I'm going to be double down on the glowstone, but I'm going to this glass is probably can be replaced, but so I need to keep that in mind for the other side. Because what I'm doing here is I'm making a dome-like greenhouse, so not all these edges are going to be smooth. In my head, I knew exactly what I was doing, but I don't remember what exactly I was doing now that I'm actually building it. So I need to remember how I did it over there. So 2 rows like that, 2 rows like that, and we go this deep, except we're going to leave that a gap because we're going to put a glowstone there. And if I remember correctly, well, let's reference. So now we go 3. In from that. And 2 from the glowstone. Fill this in. And I believe we just fill that. Perfect. Now that should be symmetrical to each other. Should be. Whoops, I didn't mean to stomp that out. I guess I should have did all this before I tilled some of my crops, but these will be easy. So let's do these first, because we're going to run into a similar issue to that side. So we got this going on up here. to this. And then we can leave that. Don't want to have glass down here. Let's try this. Then we'll go. I'm going to try to follow along with what we created there. Like that. So it should be symmetrical to the other side. And hopefully it works and looks good. And over here, should be quite simple. Just follow along with what I've already got laid down. I believe I'm not making the glowstone here too deep, so it should just be a quick, easy lay down of glass. Same thing with here, we're just breaking even. And similar story over here. We're going to need a lot more glass for this castle. I think we'll be very fortunate if we can get this greenhouse done, but I don't think we are going to be able to. Not this episode. Darn it. Alright, now let's work. Now that we got the roof in place, we'll just start putting the glass from this end back. And this should be much simpler. Literally just fill in the hole. And that is all the glass we have. I know we got a little bit more in the ovens, but I doubt that there's still enough to fill up this entire greenhouse. So we're going to have to go back, or I'm going to have to go back and get some more sand to eventually finish up this area, and then hopefully finish up the rest of my castle. But you know what? We made some good progress, and at the very least, we got to show you guys what I've gotten going so far. Hopefully by next episode we should have the majority of this thing built. If not, I'm just gonna have to do a live stream and just grind a bunch during the live stream. But hopefully we'll get a lot more of this done by then. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, please feel free to hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And be sure to check out all the other content creators that are on the server. They should maybe be in the description down below if I can find all of them that are making videos. But anyway, guys, hope you did enjoy this episode, even though it was a little bit boring. I'm sure hopefully we'll have something more exciting next episode. But I'll see you guys all later. You have a wonderful day. Goodbye.